activity, we are going to make a zoetrope. A zoetrope is like a little wheel of animation. It predates film animation. So today we're going to create our own wheel. So the supplies you're going to need for this activity are scissors, a pencil. You're going to need something else to draw with because you're also going to use the pencil to create the zoetrope itself. And you're going to need a ruler, a pie tin, something you can poke a hole through, and you're going to need white paper and black paper, or a dark colored paper and a light colored paper. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start off by cutting out our black strip of paper that we need. You want your black strip of paper to be about 2.5 inches wide and about 17 inches long. So this is where we're going to need to use our ruler. So we're going to measure out 2.5 inches. And we want it 17 inches long. And since this is only 12 inches, we're just going to cut this strip first, and then we're going to use the rest of the paper to cut the rest of the inches. All right, then we know we're going to want at least a few more inches. So we're going to measure another strip. 2.5 inches wide. And then we're going to cut it out. Okay, so we have our 2 strips cut out, and now we're going to tape them together because we want it 17 inches long, and then we're going to measure it out. And then we're going to measure 17 inches. So we know we have 12 inches. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 12 inches and then an extra 5 inches. All right, so now we have our piece of paper that's 17 inches long, and we're going to cut some strips out of this. We want it to be 1 inch deep. So here I'm going to measure all of my strips. I'm going to cut down to 1 inch, and we want them to be 1 inch wide. So every 1 inch, we're going to make a mark. And then the space between each strip, we want to be 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to measure 1/8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we want 1/8 right there. Then we're going to measure again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one line all the way across, so I know that is 1 inch deep, all the way across. And then every inch, I'm going to make a mark. So I'm going to make one mark there, and then 1/8 of an inch mark. Then I'm going to do it again. 1 inch and 1/8. All right, so I have each of my inch and 1/8 of an inch marked. Now I'm going to cut strips only on the 1/8 of an inch. And you can make lines all the way up if you want to make yours really straight, or you can just eyeball it like I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut a little strip there and then cut it off. So there. And I'm going to do that all the way down. Once you have it all cut out, you're going to tape it in a circle. Like so. Now our next step is going to involve our pan. So now we want to poke a hole in our pan for our pencil to go through, and I'm going to just poke it straight through. You don't want it too thin. So I'm just going to poke a little hole in it for now. And then I'm going to tape the black strip that I have created so it doesn't wobble all over the place. Okay, there we go. Now for our next part. So next you're going to cut out strips of the white paper, and you want these to be about 1.5 inches thick. I'm going to do 1.5 inch. And I'm going to go all the way across. And it's going to fit inside your black circle. So again, you're going to want to make it a little bit longer than your standard piece of paper. Alright, so I have my 2 white strips of paper. Now I'm going to tape them together as well. And I'm going to go ahead and measure so that I have about 17 inches again. So I have my 12 inches, add my next 5 inches to it, and I'm going to cut right about there. Alright, so the next part is kind of fun. This is where you're going to draw whatever animation you want to put in your zoetrope. So you're just going to draw one picture right after another in sequential. So I'm going to draw a flower. You can draw a stick man moving about, jumping, or whatever else you want to do. So I'm going to draw a flower growing. I'm going to draw a seed. Then I'm going to draw a seed with a root. And a seed with another root. And then a seed with a root, and a stem. And I'm going to keep drawing my seed until it grows into a flower. So after you've completed your drawing, you're going to grab your tin pan with your black strip, and you're going to loop this over to wherever you want it to end, and you're going to fit it right inside. And at this point, if you want to tape it so it doesn't slide around, you can. Stick it on your pen or your pencil. I have tape. If you need to make it a little bit more secure, you can use tape so it's not super wobbly. Tie it up, and then you're going to spin it, and you're going to look through the slits. So get even with it, find the beginning, and look at the slits. All right, see how yours turned out. And you can play around with the sizes that you have cut into strips and slits. So if you make the slits a little bit wider, it may change the way that your zoetrope looks when you spin it. So do a little experimenting, and you can try to cut them wider or smaller and see what works. All right, have fun. Enjoy the movies.